Good day to all who's watching this video. I'm King B. We're going to get into this video. I'm going to read the story, right? Devil with the badge. I said it right the first time. Devils, because there's multiple devils that have badges. All right, but let me flip the camera. And this is local news, Las Vegas, Nevada. Las Vegas Metro Police Sergeant, a sergeant now, pleads not guilty to child porn charges. Let's get into this article. A Metro Police Sergeant pleaded not guilty Wednesday to 4 charges related to child pornography. Prosecutors invoked their right to a speedy trial, prompting Clark County District Court Judge Ron Israel to set a trial date for January 21st. Kevin Menon, 42, appeared in court with his attorney Dominic Gentile, who argued against the speedy trial. A grand jury indicted Menon after police said they found child pornography on his electronic devices such as laptops. This case is the second criminal case against Menon. See, he was already indicted by a grand jury, right? For something completely related. He's going to talk about it right now. In his first case, Menon was indicted by a grand jury in October after being accused of abusing his power as a police sergeant by creating fake scenarios that resulted in citizens, mainly black men, being detained on the Las Vegas Strip. Menon led a team of officers on the Strip. Body camera and surveillance video showed Menon dressed in plain clothes while officers were dressed in uniform. Some of the officers reported Menon to the Las Vegas Police Protective Association, the union representing officers. Union leadership contacted the police department, which began an investigation. Now, this is how you know that you're dealing with a pure devil. A pure devil. This is how you know. This devil is so bad that his fellow police officers reported him. How often do you hear that? How often do you hear of police officers reporting and telling on a fellow officer? Because you often hear what they call it, the blue shield, right? That blue shield. Cops don't usually snitch on other cops, but this devil is so bad that his fellow officers were reporting him. They reported him. This is how you know, again, you're dealing with a pure devil. I said it before and I'm going to keep saying it again. What we're dealing with and what we are involved in, all of us, is spiritual warfare. This is spiritual warfare. That's what it is. Spiritual warfare, right? You're dealing with demons, you're dealing with devils. Okay? Now you got people who get they get possessed by these malevolent entities. Okay? And it's just like a car, right? Imagine you got cars parked out on the street. And some cars have alarm systems and the doors is locked, the windows is up, have the alarm systems well protected. All right? But then most of these cars have no alarm system. The doors are unlocked. The windows is down. I'm using this analogy to say this is what it's like with these entities, with these spirits, these entities, right? They're walking around because, first of all, they exist on another frequency, right? But they come into where we are on our frequency, and they can see who's wide open. Because most people walking around don't know how to protect themselves. They don't know how to protect themselves. They're wide open. Their body is wide open. Their toroidal field, their aura is wide open for one of these entities to come on in, feed off of them, right? And take over their physical vessel, their physical body, because they're wide open. They're not protected. They're not protecting themselves. Okay? But then you have some who just pure devils. That's just who they are. Right? They're not possessed. That's the spirit that's in that's living in, existing in that physical vessel. So this individual here, in my opinion, is just a pure devil. It's who he is. You know, with his first case, you on the surface you look and say, oh, he's racist, but it's not. That's not racism. He's just a devil, right? And these devils get off on hurting people, causing mayhem, mischief, hurting people. That's what he get off on, right? That's what makes them feel good, to hurt others. Okay? Let's continue reading. All right. Officers testified in front of the grand jury. They were following Minan's orders. Minan was indicted on 13 charges related to the alleged abuse of power. Minan was taken into custody on August 30th, but posted a $27,000 bond and was released. On the day of Minan's arrest, Las Vegas Metro Police executed a search warrant at Minan's North Las Vegas home. Detectives found approximately 200 images of child abuse material on 2 laptops, according to prosecutors. On October 23rd, as Minan headed to a court appearance for his first case, police took him into custody at the Regional Justice Center in connection with the new charges. Detectives executed a second search warrant at Minan's home. Las Vegas Justice Court Judge Nadia Wood set bail at $100,000 cash with the condition of high-level electronic monitoring. Although prosecutors argued to revoke his bail, he shouldn't have any bail. Minan posted bail and was released from jail on October 26th, so they gave him bail, a low bail at that, another low bail. And again, he posted bail, and he's released, right? Now, I wonder how much that have to do with him being a police officer. Okay? I wonder if it was an average person. And you know, when it comes to, you see these cases, and I've seen these cases, plenty of cases, if you look it up, a lot of these cases where these devils, these individuals have short eyes, they target children, they get slaps on the wrist, very little time, low bail, and they often get released and they're walking around the streets looking for another victim. We can't trust the so-called authorities. And we got to stop looking for someone to come and protect us and save us, protect our communities. We got to start doing it ourselves. I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. Let me flip. Fellow men out there, we got to step up. We got to it's way past time to take matters into our own hands and start protecting our women, our children, our babies, our communities. This is a must, right? Because these policy enforcers, it's not their job to protect us. They're policy enforcers. Their duty is to uphold the codes and the statutes set forth by the United States corporation. Right? Check the history. Okay? And before, their roots is slave patrol. Right? Long time ago. That's their root. They were the slave patrol. Then they became policy enforcers. They're policy enforcers. Their job is not really to protect anybody or protect the community. Right now, imagine not if you're this individual's neighbors. I don't know. He could have been my neighbor. Who knows? One of my neighbors somewhere. Who knows? But just imagine you're his neighbors, and the neighbors thinking you're safe. Hey, my neighbor's a cop. He's a sergeant. Just on just on the surface, you think you're safe. You think you're good. Your neighbor's a police officer, a sergeant at that. Meanwhile, not knowing that your neighbor, yes, although a police officer, your neighbor is a devil. Your neighbor's the one you have to look out for, the so-called police officer. Kind of world, society, sick society we're living in. Let's continue. Clark County District Court Judge Ron Israel increased Minan's bail amount to $150,000, which Minan immediately posted to remain out of custody. After his arrest, the department placed Minan on leave with pay, and suspended his police powers pending an investigation. The department has since stopped paying him. Well, he shouldn't have been getting on leave with pay in the first place. So in other words, that's like initially, at first, you might as well say they sent him on vacation with pay. With those charges, they stopped paying him finally, but they shouldn't have placed him on leave with pay in the first place. And this is something that we see with these devils, right? They can go out, hide behind their badges, right? Unalive someone, and then they on leave with pay pending an investigation. Basically, might as well say they send them on vacation with pay. It's disgusting. A jury trial for his criminal case is scheduled for March. No other officers were charged in that case. They're talking about the first case. And that's the end of that article. I'm going to be following this to find out, and to get updates on this case. Better believe that. Right? And then you got this case right here. I did a video on this. Okay? I did a video on this. And this says, I don't think I'll be alive by then. Las Vegas homeowner says on 911 call before police unalived him. I did a video on this. This is something else that's happening, that's going on out here in Vegas. All right? And this is the case of Brandon Durham, who was unalive by a police officer out here. Okay? After he made a 911 call about people breaking into his home. Right? It turns out to have been someone that he was dealing with. All right? Alejandra Boudreaux from Seattle, Washington. Right? She was out here, and Brandon Durham allegedly was dealing with her, had some type of relationship with her. And on the way to the airport to go back to Seattle, did an about face, smashed up his car, broke his windows, his house, got into his house, had a knife ready to was trying to was attacking Brandon Durham. And meanwhile, Brandon Durham was at home with his 15-year-old daughter while this is going on. When he made the 911 call, he was hiding in his bathroom with his daughter. He didn't know what was going on. This man was in his. It's clear he had on just had shorts on, whatever. It's clear he was in his bed sleeping for the night. So could you imagine you in bed, you sleeping, and then next thing you know, you hear glass breaking, your windows breaking, you don't know what's going on? What you gonna do? You're gonna jump up, get your child, hide out, you don't know what's going on. He called 911, so-called doing the right thing. Right? Police comes in. Now he gave a description of what to the 911 operator on what the individual was wearing. Right? What do you think the police officer does? They kick the door in, go in, find him, seize him. Now again, all he got on is like shorts or underwear or whatever. That's it. See him struggling with the knife, struggling with Alejandra for the knife. Police officer unalives him after just giving one command to drop the knife. One shot and then take a step closer and shoots 4 more times. Now, again, condolences to the family. They have a lawyer. They're fighting for justice. They're going to continue to fight for justice. May they get the justice for their family member that they deserve. Right? Condolences and thoughts and positive energy to his daughter, who's got to deal with this trauma now. But there's a twist to the story. There's a twist to the story now. Let me get to it. Where is it? There is a twist to the story. Now, the officer who fired the 5 shots, identified as Alexander Bookman, okay, was at Durham's home the previous day, according to this article. Okay? And it reads, Records 8 News Now investigators obtained Tuesday reveal officers were called to Durham's home late on the evening of November 10th, about 24 hours before the fatal shooting, for disturbance. Durham, who was not home when he made the call around 11:30 p.m. on November 10th, told police his ex-friend named Marie refused to leave, according to documents. Marie is Boudreaux's middle name, according to records. Bookman arrived at the house around 12:11 a.m. At 12:40 a.m., police notes indicate Boudreaux agreed to leave and left for Harry Reid International Airport, records said. The officer who made the note that Boudreaux packed up and left was Bookman. That's the twist to this case now. So Alexander Bookman, police officer, who unalived Durham, right, was the officer who responded the day before when Durham called and said his ex-friend refused to leave. He was a responding officer. So you would think that he would have taken that into consideration. Now, here's the thing. Although Durham wasn't home, when he made the 911 call about Boudreaux refusing to leave his house, even though, the officer, he didn't know what Durham looked like. Durham wasn't home. But he knew what Boudreaux, Alejandra Boudreaux looked like. He dealt with her. He was a responding officer. So you would think that when they kicked the door down, right, and he made his way into the home and saw Durham struggling to get the knife, you would think that he would have immediately recognized Boudreaux. Since he dealt with Boudreaux, he was a responding officer just the day before. His memory can't be that bad. And I don't want to hear that it was nighttime because he had his flashlight on. He had his flashlight on. Right? And I don't want to hear he didn't know what Durham looked like. I don't want to hear that either. Because again, he knew what Boudreaux looked like. He dealt with her just the day before and knew that she was told to leave that home and didn't belong there. He couldn't figure that out. He was a responding officer. I could see if it was a week ago, 2 weeks ago, a few days ago. No, it was just the day before he responded to that home. He had his flashlight on, light bright, flashlight bright. He should have immediately recognized the individual he dealt with just the day before at that residence. Who he knew the homeowner did not want there. Had to leave. Didn't make the connection. Unalived the innocent man who was fighting for his life. Who told the dispatcher that he was talking to that he didn't think he was going to make it by the time authorities got there. I don't think I'll be alive by then, is what he told the 911 operator. They released the recording of the 911 call. I'm not going to play that though. Again, justice for Brandon Durham. Justice for Brandon. May his family get the justice they're looking for. Again, they lawyered up. They're fighting. May they continue to fight and get support from the community out here. But again, I don't quite get how the officer who fired the fatal shots, bright flashlight, he knew he was at that home the day before, dealt with Alejandra Boudreaux, didn't make the connection. Wait a minute, I was at this house yesterday. Once inside the home, bright flashlight, hold on, you don't belong here. I don't get it. I don't get it. Is it due to poor training, a lack of training? Or maybe this is what they're trained to do. Shoot first, ask questions later. Shoot first, investigate later. Because it don't seem there's much investigation going on. It seems like around the nation, these policies and forces are not out to protect lives. It seems to me they're out to end lives. How often someone calls 911 looking for help because a family member is having a mental breakdown, and instead of helping, these policy enforcers come out and end the life. Right? They have this shoot first, investigate later mentality. And allegedly, there's been reports of Donald Trump, once in office, given these policy enforcers immunity, allegedly. It's time for us, especially we, the melanated community, to start defending ourselves against all threats. Right? It's way past time. We got to start protecting our families, our babies, our children, our women, each other, and our communities against all threats. And we better start going within, if you haven't done so already, going within yourself, doing that work, doing your shadow work, going deep within yourself, so you could begin to learn how to feel and see energy, right? Because you can't judge a book by its cover, as the saying goes. You don't know what spiritual entity is inhabiting that physical body. And people are getting caught up because of it, because of that. This is King B. Welcome to the channel. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. If you would like to, click the notification bell to all. Welcome to the channel. Shout out to my subscribers. Shout out to those of you, whoever's watching this video. All right? Protect yourself. Love yourself unconditionally. Keep your loved ones close. Protect the babies and the children and women. They're under attack. We are under attack. They're also attacking our food. Every day, there's multiple stories I'm seeing about food recalls. There's an E. coli outbreak going on right now for carrots. E. coli outbreak going on right now with ground beef. We've been at war. We got to wake up, realize what's happening, get together, band together, stand together. This is King B. To the next video. Be safe out there. Peace.